Hey guys, welcome to Our Zen Chaos, a little bit of Zen in a world full of chaos. My name is Carrie. I'm a homeschool mom of 3, and today I just wanted to do a video for you about how you can homeschool 100% free. I had a couple of people reach out to me after I put up my last video, which was about what homeschool curriculum we're going to be using for the 2021 school year. We've been homeschooling going on 4 years now, and I personally have never tried homeschooling for free. And so I really didn't have a lot of resources to give the people who were reaching out to me. And that got me curious. I was like, I know it can be done. I've heard of people doing it, and it has to be easier nowadays, especially with COVID right now, than just going on Pinterest or having to piece everything together yourself. It has to be easier than that, because a lot of people are working from home and trying to homeschool their kids, and that's rough. Or people, are going through economic hardship, and as a result of that, that's working as a barrier to prevent people from being able to homeschool their children. So what I did was I ran online and I did some research. I watched YouTube videos from a bunch of different homeschooling creators. I Googled a lot. I asked around, and I found 5 websites that have curriculums all laid out. They're 100% free. There's no hidden fees. There's no membership fees. There's no monthly fees. And I don't even think these websites require you to have any printed material or books. So they really are 100% free. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into it. I will just put in text format on the screen what the websites are, and then in the description below I will also go ahead and put the websites down below as well. So here we go. The first website is AmblesideOnline.org, and this website is Charlotte Mason based, and it is faith-based, but it is a bit customizable. So if you are looking for a secular curriculum and you're not wanting to have a faith-based curriculum, you should be able to customize it a bit to your needs. But check it out and see if that's something you're interested in. The next, and you're going to see me looking down a lot. Sorry, I have notes on my computer and that's what I'm reading from. The next is Easy Peasy All-in-One Homeschool. This is a very simply laid out curriculum. It's open and go. It is faith-based, and it is taught through a creationist viewpoint. So depending on your thoughts of that and how you feel about science, being specifically science and history, I guess, being taught through a creationist viewpoint is going to probably be a big part of how if you decide to go with this website. So Easy Peasy All-in-One Homeschool is pre-K through 8th. And then there's a separate site for high school called All-in-One High School, and it goes 9th through 12th. The next is Khan Academy. It's KHAN Academy.org. Evidently, this is a really well-known website, but it was one that I hadn't heard of before somehow. And this goes from pre-K through high school and actually offers some AP college courses as well. They also have test prep for the tests of the SAT, the LSAT, and Praxis Core. Praxis Core is a new one that I haven't heard of since I was in high school, but probably a good thing for me to know for when my kids get to high school. This curriculum is taught through videos, and then after the videos are watched and they go through all the information, then they have basically quizzes over comprehension of the material. It's very easy to navigate, and it is secular, so those might be reasons why you want to check it out. Next is one that I found through YouTube, and I found it through a YouTuber called Plain and Not So Plain, and her website is plainandnotsoplain.com. And she put together a nice, easy curriculum. I don't mean easy as in like it's easy, but easy for parents curriculum. And it's for 1st through 9th grade. Science is not included, but it does have some remedial history as well as life skills on there. It is by a Christian mom, so it is faith-based. There is a section on like Bible work to be done, and there are references to the church and to Jesus in there. So that's just something to keep in mind. I feel like it's kind of customizable. Like you can leave that out if that's not something that you're interested in, at least in the earlier years that I checked out. But it's just good to know that it is written by a Christian mom and is a bit faith-based. And then lastly, we have one that a lot of homeschoolers would say is not technically homeschool, but you're at home and you're schooling. So, I mean, it kind of is. And it's K12.com. K12.com is actually put together through your public school system. It's been around since at least when I was in high school. I remember it being around. And what it basically does is it has you get a lesson through it, again, through the public school system. And there are teachers on reserve to kind of help walk you through anything that you're having problems with, but it's really just go at your own pace, and you don't have required times that you have to be online like a lot of people are running into with the distance learning requirements. And of course, because it's through the public school system, it is secular. So that might be something you want to check out as well. And that's K through 12, as the name would imply. But yes, kindergarten through 12th grade on that one. Next, I want to get into a couple of ways that you might choose to homeschool for free without a curriculum. Believe it or not, you typically wouldn't have to buy a curriculum from someone in order to teach your children. Now, I do want to preface these options by saying that I live in Texas in the United States, and so as a result, my homeschool laws in my state and in my country may be the same, or they may differ greatly from what is required in your state or country. So if you're in Texas, hey, what's up? These are things that you can do here. If you're not, definitely look into your homeschool laws. I don't know how intense they're being about homeschool laws right now because of the pandemic, but just to be on the safe side, look up your local state laws about homeschooling, just to make sure that you have all your bases covered. The first option is to unschool. And some of you might be like, unschooling? What is this? So like, don't school my kids? Yes, and also no. So unschooling really is just following your children's natural curiosity, right? So the thought process, and I can make a whole other video about unschooling. It's a whole topic all of its own. The basic premise is that children are natural learners. Children want to learn. Children have natural curiosities and creativity, and they want to explore and learn the world around them. And then we as adults come in and we say, okay, you're allowed to learn on your own until pre-K or until kindergarten, and then you have to learn this way. You have to sit in a desk and you have to learn these subjects, and that is that, right? So we kind of come in and take over their learning process. In unschooling, what you basically do is just follow your children's natural rhythms and curiosities. So for math, you might bake a cake and talk about fractions and talk about like temperatures and talk about time. All of that is math. You might talk about the science behind it and how baking soda reacts with vinegar and how, this type of flour requires this much liquid and the ratios, and that's science and math, and you get a nice treat afterwards, right? So that's a type of unschooling. For math, you might go outside and collect sticks and build a shelter and talk about geometry while you're building this shelter, It's just basically learning through life skills. Unschooling is a possibility, and it's something that's definitely available for a lot of people. and it doesn't matter what your socioeconomic status is. You can unschool your kids and they can grow to be very successful people. So it's always an option. Next, I'm going to preface this one as well. Some people might think that this is wrong. Some people might consider it stealing. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I kind of feel that because it's put out there as public information, it's not, and there's nothing wrong with it. But I do want to say that companies that do build curriculums, especially a lot of homeschooling, like lesser known curriculums, they put a lot of work and money and time and effort and experience into these curriculums, and they're amazing individuals who put these curriculums together. So I would never suggest curriculum sharing or anything like that, but big buts, on a bunch of literature-based websites, they do have their book lists available for free. You could just go on there, click on the grade that you're interested in, and it will tell you what they're covering that year for that curriculum and what books they're using for that curriculum. They'll just share that information on their website. So for websites like Torchlight, Build Your Library, Moving Beyond the Page, all of them share that information, and you'd be able to go on there and see the book lists, and then you could take that information and get those books from your local library or through a couple of other resources I'm going to give you at the end, and make your own curriculum kind of based off of their book list. That's an option as well. Now, if you do have the means to purchase the outline curriculum, then I really suggest doing it. Torchlight is one of the most affordable, like fully comprehensible curriculums out there. It's like $30 to $40 for the curriculum breakdown. But if you can't, you can't, and you got to do what you got to do. That's all I'm going to say about that. When it comes to this, you might not have, like I said, you might, because you're not going to get the curriculum, you're not going to get the full breakdown of what needs to be read with what, and what days you need to study this with this, and it's not going to give you the activities and all of that stuff that goes along with the readings. But just reading the books to your children alone, your children are going to learn. So there's that. Lastly, and this might seem like a passive piece of advice, I guess. Lastly, just get creative. Honestly, you know your children best. You know what they like, you know what they don't like, you know how they learn. Even just helping them with homework or guiding them through an activity, whether that be baking cookies with them or playing a video game with them, you kind of understand what makes them tick and like what they like and what they don't like. And so you can take that innate knowledge that you have of your child, you can use some of these resources I'm about to give you, and you can put together a curriculum that will get you through this time, and maybe even like bring y'all closer together, which would be wonderful. Whether you're wanting to kind of go more the unschool method, or whether you know your state law requires worksheets and curriculum, everything laid out and blah, 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 blah. You can find a way to do that if you have a cell phone and if you have a computer, internet, any of that. If you have any of that, you have tons of information at your disposal to put together a very comprehensible curriculum on your own. You just have to be a little creative in order to do that. So some resources I'm going to suggest are Pinterest. You can get tons, right? Any of us who have been on Pinterest, like, you know, it's just a vast sea of options. But you can get tons of worksheets for free. You can get tons of just basic curriculum layouts for free. Tons of sites that are going to give you resources where you can find more free stuff. Like, Pinterest is wonderful. Just type in like first grade homeschool curriculum or algebra worksheets or whatever the case may be, and you're gonna find it on there. YouTube, you're here, you're watching this. It's that easy. YouTube is a wonderful resource. It has so much information for parents. We even utilize it in our day-to-day, and we have a curriculum all laid out, and there are YouTube videos even suggested in my curriculum. So YouTube is a wonderful resource. Audible right now is still doing this. It's August 2020 right now. And Audible has been doing this for a while. They still have it up and going. It's not going to work through your Audible app. So if you have an Audible app on your phone, don't expect to be able to pull these books up through there. You have to go to the website, but it's stories.audible.com. And this, on top of your local library, will give you so many books that you can read and listen to for free, that you can work into your curriculum. So you really do have a lot of resources out there. You can mix and match and do what's right for you and your family. My computer just went dead. You can mix and match and do what's right for your family, but truly you do have a ton of information at your disposal to homeschool your children, and not just homeschool your children, but homeschool them well for free. You can do that. I promise it's doable. So if there's any questions that you might have or comments that you want to provide about the information provided here today, please let me know. That's how I got the idea for this video and putting this together for you, was people reaching out to me and asking, what can I do for free to homeschool my child? And here are some options for you. Please go on YouTube. You're already here, so once you click out of this video, type in how to homeschool for free or free homeschooling resources, and you're going to get a ton more videos. Any other questions that you might have about homeschooling or going over certain topics of homeschooling, please let me know down below. And I hope you are well and happy and healthy, and I'm wishing you the very best of luck when it comes to homeschooling this year. All right, good luck, y'all. Bye.